Azania is a thing of real beauty. At one point, I thought we'd never get here.
Azania Rises actually started in 2019 is when you started first conceptualizing it. And I remember drawing a few sketches and sharing them with Farisai and seeing if he could animate them.
We take influences from what's currently out there right now in the different cultures across the continent, but we also infuse it with an Afro-futuristic style.
That's right.
Because of the sci-fi setting of Azania Rises.
The idea of creating a world of what Africa will look like in the future, the technology, the opportunity, was just too awesome to miss.
I wanted the world to see what we know in our hearts the continent can be.
I sometimes wonder why I'm still doing this, risking our lives to defend the weak and help the poor, trying to bring balance to this broken world, and all for what?
It's a lot of balancing between traditionalism and futuristic elements.
But I think the most important thing is that whilst there's a hunger for African content, the way that we're creating that African content is that we're creating it in Africa, for Africa.
Everything we do feels like us. We shouldn't try too hard. It's when we start putting loincloths and, then too much face paint, and because I don't wear face paint, you know what I mean? I don't wear loincloths. It's when we try too hard that we actually go to the Western perspective of Africa and not our own.
I think we're at the point where we have the minds that can compete technologically. So I think, of course, it's going to be very synthy, very modern, very cool, and just with like some African swagger.
The world of Azania is just, it's an exciting world. There's cool spaceship sounds, and there's cool weapon sounds and explosions and gunshots, all your typical things that we find exciting putting together.
You know our mission. Expect heavy enemy drone presence.
From a business perspective, I think financing is always a challenge. It hasn't been the challenge, though, interestingly. I thought it would be. So we started developing prototypes very early. We started doing little clips, showing the idea of Azania Rises. And sometimes, we wouldn't even have to pitch. We just showed them that, and they're like, wow.
Building a creative brand in Africa, period, is a very difficult thing. The advantage that we have in animation is that the TV series is essentially a long-running advert for the merchandise and licensing, which really establishes a strong, powerful brand that is going to bring in the audience.
When the final product comes together, it's more than anything that we could have done by ourselves.
But also, I hope this is a first of many, like these type of shows, because I know growing up, I would have loved to see something like this.
I hope the audience leaves with the understanding that Africa has a voice when it comes to sci-fi and animation, and that we can do it at the highest level.